Ain't nobody out here claiming perfection. You know, I'm saying, and all I'm really saying is if we want to see something better, we got to try to be something better.
The police can come take people to jail for lottery because no one owns over there. Most people done moved out. You know, Orange County, Lancaster, you know, and they just come back when something tragic happens, or, you know, you have a hood day, a neighborhood day, or whatever. But this is true. So we have to empower ourselves by educating and changing the narrative of our youth to look what the culture looks like. Whether it's, you know, you can be from your tribe. I mean, that's fine. What I'm saying is how you function in your tribe. It's about empowerment, building wealth, and connecting with one another. Whether you Crip blood, you know, Pyru, whatever it is, we have to, as black and brown people, we have to connect. We have to really connect and build. But first, the nucleus has to be with our people. I mean, you know.
Well, you can start up. We
running?
As about 1 minute ago.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. It's
top of the day, good people, grand rising. My name is Dhuabu. I'm here on our platform Against All Odds, and our message is to empower, to network, change the narrative of our community, the community of Compton, and communities all throughout Los Angeles County, the world. I'm here today with my homeboy from my tribe, from my neighborhood. This is Snoop, and I just want to let him share a bit about himself, a little bit where he was at, where he's at now, and where he's going. And then we're going to have a great topic. We're going to talk about. I know a lot of people are watching this, but who is respected most? The shooter in your neighborhood, or the person, the community activist, or the person who's coming back giving resources to your community? Who do you respect more? I mean, both of these people are from your neighborhood, but who's respected more? This is a topic that came up in our neighborhood when one of our soldiers had fallen, you know, due to unforeseen circumstances. But this is usually a way when we gather, when someone dies, or a neighborhood day, you know, when everybody just comes, people you ain't seen in 20, 30 years. But that was a topic of discussion. But I want to let Snoop tell, you know, where he come from, you know, a little bit about himself and where he's at now.
Hi everybody, my name is Snoop. I'm from Compton, California, born and raised. And yeah, you know, as I transitioned through, you know, Compton, Palmer Block, I pretty much, you know, got myself involved in a lot of, you know, drugs and, you know, the basic, you know, things that goes around in the community, in the neighborhood, which took me in a different direction, jails, and I transitioned to school, and now I'm working in drug and alcohol treatment. I would say, you know, as far as the, you know, who's respected the most in the hood, depending on, you know, where you coming from as far as a gang perspective, I personally would say that the shooter in a gang mentality would be more respected than a community activist. But as a community as a whole, I would think that people that's on a positive note and want to see positive change would get behind a community activist on a positive note. But as far as a gang, you would pretty much like to know that the person that's kicking up the most dust is really representing more so than a community activist, because you're talking about a gang here. You know, like as far as sports, you can look at the Lakers. Who's more important, Kobe Bryant or Jerry Buss? You know what I'm saying? Jerry Buss is the owner, and he brings all the, money and everything to the game, but the person that's making the shots and, representing, in that aspect would probably be in someone's mind. So it's all about perspective. I think so, but, it's up for debate.
So you say that the shooter is more respected. Now, when I was in the mindset of, soldiering, or what I thought was soldiering, protecting my neighborhood, where we grew up, I respected the shooter. But when I, became in the awareness and in the light, like, is this really, do I own anything over here? If you look at it really, I would say 90% of all neighborhoods, if you Crip, Pyru, whatever, most of them don't even live in their parents have moved out the neighborhood. They don't own no property in the neighborhood. So we're calling something that our hood, but we own nothing. If we gathered and the police came, they could take us all to jail for loitering. So my perspective is, why don't we empower? Why don't we change the narrative? Okay, you can represent your tribe wherever you're from and be, proudful about it. But I'm saying, do it in a positive way. No one in your community should fear you. Everyone should respect you because you're helping, if you see an older person bringing groceries in the house, you should be there to kind of help them out. Women and children shouldn't fear you. They should respect you as like, yeah, this is our protector. But how do you protect something that you don't own? So my thing is, we have to change that narrative to where we're buying back our community. We're creating jobs, however it may be. If we own, we all come together, 5-10 people come together and buy a store. Even if it's a liquor store, I don't condone no drugs or alcohol, but whatever it is, we come together to create some income. But if we can't see the bigger picture of, it's about ownership and really, power. That's real power, being able to own something. Now, so the conversation came up. Like I said, we were after one of our soldiers' funerals, and a famous rapper came up, and he was killed by one of his own homeboys, and a lot of people in the neighborhood. I said, well, I felt that Nipsey had sacrificed. He was a soldier. He came back to his community, and he was respected in my eye because he was bringing knowledge. He was bringing resources to the community, and it's about how many people he was impacting. Now, the shooter, okay, he may, take a life, but who is he really impacting? After he's gone to jail or he has taken the life of that person and their family mourning, like, how is that really impactful? Or is it a messed up mentality that we have grown to think that's normal? We have grown to think that this type of behavior is normal. So we have to really just be aware and change that narrative.
Yeah, regarding that situation, unfortunately Nipsey, had to, go out like that. But, me, I personally, look at the situation as like, everybody have a role in their neighborhood, Everybody plays certain different roles. You got people that, educate, uplift, people that just bring money to the hood, guns to the hood, girl. You got some people just bring girls to the hood.
Yeah.
You got some people that just bring laughter to the hood. Some people that just bring alcohol and drugs to get everybody, high and just everybody have their role in certain neighborhoods. And I basically think everybody is an intricate part of a neighborhood as a whole. Now, I don't think anyone is more respected in an aspect of, who's more important or whose role should be disregarded because, yeah, I'm touching more people than you are, or I'm impacting more people than you are. If we a gang, if we a community, if we as a whole, even in a positive or negative aspect, I think everybody plays their role. Now, with the Nipsey situation, I don't know all the details about that situation, but coming from a street perspective, if someone of Nipsey's status take it upon himself to approach an individual that's out there in the street, active and frontliner for his neighborhood, and because Nipsey has a different platform and a different status in the music and the industry and stuff like that, I don't think that he can impose that on a neighborhood in which he come from, like he's better than or he's more powerful than the individual, especially when it comes down to the street codes and the rules of the streets. Now, if you cross those lines and disrespect the individual, then you're going to get dealt with regardless of how many fans you got, how much money you got, or how much status you got in the industry. I believe you going to get what you got coming to you if you cross that line of respect. Now, in that, I've heard that this guy caught this guy a snitch. Now, me from the streets, I listen from afar because I'm from Compton. This was an LA incident. I'm listening because I love Nipsey music, and I got some homies from the rolling 60s that I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of keeping my ear to the street as to what really went on in that situation. Now, throughout gangs, everybody know if you call somebody a snitch, you either be ready to do it, produce some paperwork, or prove what you're saying. People loosely throw that word around and just kind of, oh, cause this nigga fuck my bitch, or because this nigga, you know what I'm saying, making more money than me, or this nigga beat me up, or whatever, I'm gonna sabotage him, or I'm gonna throw his name in the mud and try to, throw my weight on him, or whatever beef I have with the individual. I can use different tactics of trying to get this dude out the way. And calling the dude a snitch is probably the number one way to outcast an individual from a neighborhood. Now, that incident happened how long ago? Maybe a year, 2 years ago?
That was like 3 years.
Like 3 years ago. They've yet to produce any paperwork. Now, I wasn't there. Now, if this individual did, in fact, call this individual a snitch and haven't produced no paperwork, there's been no proof to slander his name like that, sorry to say, but Nipsey disrespected the street code, in my point of view. And he was, like you said, a great man that exposed a lot of different situations that was empowering to the community as far as the kids, as far as building him with his neighborhood, giving back and everything. Take nothing from him. Stand-up guy, awesome rapper, cool dude from my point of view. But it's a lot of fallen soldiers that was cool, had money, had fame, and all that, but you still have to respect the man in the streets if you, in fact, involved in that aspect of life.
That lifestyle, I agree with you on a lot of different terms as far as respect. I think respect is the main thing with anything, whether you in a gang or you in business dealings or you in a relationship with people, any type of relationship, it has to be a level of respect. And the street code is just that. Like, I'm very conscious of what I say and who I speak on. I think about what I'm saying. I think about what I'm thinking about before I say it. Like, I wouldn't, speak on nobody unless I'm willing to go there and, if I called them a snitch, you need to have paperwork, or you just need to go with whatever comes with that. But where does the line come across where cats who have kind of made it out, kind of elevated, and not to say that they're thinking they're better than nobody else. I mean, when you come into a different light, you just start thinking different. Not to put nobody down. I mean, because I think we all was there. I think we all, was there, with the gang bang, selling drugs, doing whatever we did to uplift our gang, and just that behavior. It's a gang mentality. It's a kind of it's an addictive behavior. Your ego, all of those things that come with the gang lifestyle. It's an addictive behavior. How do we set a code for the people who were really from their neighborhood, from their community? We ain't talking about nobody who just wanted to jump on the bandwagon once they got some money and started to want to claim a neighborhood. Like, you got certain cats that's in the industry now, they can come and pay a neighborhood and they can say they from a neighborhood. It's a couple of cats like that out there. How do we protect, or how do we set a code? Like, if this dude was really from the community, how do we protect them where they not fearful just because they, thinking another way and they have resources to try to bring back and pour into our community? How do we set a code? Like, no, that we can't. That situation is one situation. I'm just speaking in general. If someone has kind of made it out, they have created some businesses, have networked across the nation, or however they network, on the internet, doing things, moving, just in motion. They in motion. Yeah, how do we protect a soldier, a real cat, who just not doing negative things anymore, and they want to come back to the community where they don't get buffaloed by the cat from the jealousy and envy? A lot of that is jealousy and envy and hate.
I agree with you. And if you're from the neighborhood, me personally, it's always been about representation with me in the neighborhood. From day one, when I first started banging my neighborhood, it's always been about representation and empowering my homies in every aspect of it, from the way I dress, the way I, conduct my business, the way everything has been about representation and unity. I believe, to answer your question, would be included into, like, if I come up, I pass it down, I include my homies in anything that I come up on, and then the evolution of it is, like, we growing up, it was about maybe bikes when we was real little, raising pigeons, fixing up cool bikes. I come up, I got some forks, I got some handlebars. You need some bend back seat pole, I got you. You know what I'm saying? We roll into the Compton Parade on fresh bikes because, that's what we doing. As we evolved and grow into, selling cocaine, I got a sack, you got the sack. I got a car, you got a car. I got a chain, you got a chain. And we unify and we represent us. When we, go outside of our neighborhood, other people see us. Oh, the Palmers is doing good. The Palmers got this. They uplifting each other. They basically together. Ain't nobody, outside of the circle if you part of the circle. Now, as far as us as grown adults, if we evolve into, like, like you always been, in my eyes, a positive energy in the neighborhood. If anybody that was trying to, like, uplift themselves in a positive way, Phantom would always be a good guy to go talk to, always had resources, always had a good positive energy and motivating conversation for anybody. Now, you have other homeboys that, as just as much as part of the neighborhood as you, wasn't as positive as you, but just as equally as part of the neighborhood as you, would probably be like, hey, I just talked to Phantom. Phantom gave me some resources on a job application, but I just talked to the other homie. He gave me a strap, a sack, and you know, this, that, and the other. So it's two different contributions to the neighborhood. Now, to answer your question, as far as people that's outside the neighborhood that want to come back to the neighborhood and help uplift the community and uplift the homies, I would say they have to stay connected with the individuals that they've always been connected to and check in and see how an individual is living and how an individual is doing and what can they do to contribute that will empower their neighborhood, you know, and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it ain't no just jumping in. I don't know you from a can of paint. Who is this cat? This is somebody I've been knowing all my life. This was my homie that's trying to put me on in a positive way or a negative way. You got negative homie.